Can you talk about your family, where you grew up, how you grew up, and what your parents did for occupations?
Yeah, sure. So in my life, as I look at it now, I'm 48 years old, there were these really pivotal, I call them engines of inspiration. They were really moments of adversity, and they were driven by fear. And so for me, I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. I was raised by a single mom. She worked really hard, 2 jobs most of the time. We didn't have much. And it just gave me fire, right? You see your mom, you want to provide for your mom, and you really think through not only how you take care of yourself, but also how do I really tap into finding a better way to help my mother. And so I think that for me, when I grew up and you said, hey, what drives your mindset and what gave you the energy and the enthusiasm in the beginning to get out there and take some risks that maybe other kids at 8, 9, 10 years old weren't willing to take, that was the first one for me. I gotta get out there. I gotta make something happen important in my life.
So that drive to protect your mother, provide for your mother is sort of deep-seated. With permission, what was the relationship you had with your father?
Yeah, so father was an alcoholic, left my mother when I was 2, so I never really met him. So naturally you kind of grow up with a little bit of anger, a little bit of extra discipline, but a vengeance to get out there and go, hey, why would this guy leave me? Why would he want to participate in my life? Why wouldn't he want to see how I'm going to be successful in this lifetime? And so it gave me a lot of drive. Although it was adversity, there was a lot of inspiration inside of me to say, hey, you know what? Someday I will meet my dad, and someday I kind of want him to regret it. Someday I want him to maybe find me and say, wow, I'm so impressed. I'm proud of you. I can't believe what you've done. And so I think there was if I make myself really vulnerable, I needed affirmation, I need male affirmation, and I was searching for it and I didn't have it. And so that also created a lot of inspiration and a lot of drive to go out there and do something meaningful enough that I could be recognized for it.
You had a unique sense of drive, and you had some other adversity as a kid. Struggled in elementary school and you were held back in first grade.
Yeah.
This is all with permission, by the way. I'm not just springing this on him.
Yeah.
I'm not the rudest interviewer in the world. So what does that mean to a 5 or 6 or 7-year-old kid, and how did that sort of shape you?
Yeah, I mean, being held back in the first grade is something I haven't even told my kids yet. And Jessica and I have 3 kids under the age of 13. And it was rough, man. It's just when you're in the first grade and you see all your friends go to the second grade, and then you have to see them for 12 more years, and they always kind of are looking back going, hey, is that the guy that wasn't that smart? There's a lot of pain. And so I had a learning disability called dysgraphia. I really struggled at reading, and I had some self-esteem issues early on because I'm like, maybe I'm just not smart. Maybe I'm not talented enough. Boy, I know I have to try a lot harder than anybody else around here. This everything seems to be coming very easy to everyone, and there's a lot of tears and there's a lot of pain for me alone trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to have enough talent to be successful someday in life, and what's my thing? What am I going to be able to do? And I think that adversity obviously naturally drives you to someday want to prove to those teachers and those students that you're talented and you're worthy of that affirmation and respect.